name's Kidong Lee, representing Next G Alliance. So, good morning, everyone. Today, I am going to talk a little bit about Next G Alliance 6G drivers and some of the down-selected use cases. One thing that I want to share is that the NJ is still working on to develop the use cases. So we have phased approach. So we have 6 working groups. So one of the working group is, as you can see here, applications working group, which is working on to identify new 6G use cases and applications that are relevant to be considered for 6G system design. With that, the application working group is working on to analyze the Next G Alliance audacious code. Probably many of you are familiar with that, so that we can make some true implications, what technology enabler we may need it to come up with in the end. So that's briefly what it is, because I think from my presentation, it's external presentation, right, to Hexa-X. This one is a very high-level overview about the 6G drivers from North American perspectives, motivated by the North America oriented agenda of collaboration across multiple sectors, private sectors, academia, government, to position North America as one of the global leaders in 6G. NJ has built up a comprehensive model with an emphasis of North American market need and North American 6G technology development and R&D need and the standards goal and market readiness. So these are very high level view about the 6G drivers. If we delve into a little bit more detail, we in NGA have roughly 7 or 8 industry verticals as key drivers. So if I can briefly mention some of them, so automotive is one of them, and the public safety, industrial IoT, and smart city, education, gaming, and entertainment is one of them, and also agriculture and mining and e-healthcare. So those are the key, industry vertical as a 6G drivers from NJ's perspectives. And if we move on to, so with this one, I want to mention something about the relation between NJ's 6 audacious goals, which is about a vision from the North American perspective, and the 6G applications, or we can say 6G use cases. So in the figure in the left, you can see 6 audacious goals. So close to security and resilience, and all the way through like this. So digital world experience is one very important aspect for our daily living environment. And as you can see, the distributed cloud and the communication system which is a very interesting area as well. And so we have 2 more on this important aspect. So from these 6 audacious goals, we are trying to work on those implications onto the 6G requirement domain. So now we have 4 foundational areas of use cases. One is about living, to improve the quality of everyday living, and also experience is about, as you can see in the previous presentations, it is really about the quality of experience, how we feel for working, for learning, even for entertainment. And more importantly, we also have 2 societal aspects. One is about the critical role that can include many aspects, including healthcare, working environment, safety measure. And the last but not the least, we have societal goals, high-level societal goals. These are 4 foundational areas of the use cases we are working on. And then, if I can briefly introduce some the reports that NJ have produced so far. After we share this slide, please try to utilize this QR code or simply visit the nextalliance.org to see some interesting reports from North American perspectives. In more detail, these 4 categories are the NJ's four areas of use cases. So one is about XR or multi-sensory extended reality, and we have bunch of use cases over here. And the second group is distributed sensing and communications or computing. So this one is about data collections in the various contexts. For example, sensor network in several decades ago, we try to incorporate those concepts into the previous generation of cellular network. But now we are moving on to a more diverse concept of data collection, including the applications of joint communication and sensing, and how we disseminate those type of information or data to the authorized user or applications. Those are a whole lot of interesting aspects that this use case category may have. And the third one is network-enabled robotics and autonomous system, which is somehow similar to what the previous speaker mentioned in the context of cobots. So we have many useful scenario that we have been identifying. And the fourth one is the personalized user experience that I have presented last year. So this one is quite interesting aspect, but behind the scene of a personalized user experience, we have many different and various type of new feature that we may need to support this type of application or services. So now I'm going to briefly touch on um, some example of use cases out of the four use case categories. So the first one I want to touch on is about XR. So I believe there might be not much difference between regional alliance, but it is what it is. So the one of the key thing we want to see is education, how we utilize the XR concept or services onto the education vertical domain. So we have some role players in this scenario. So as you can see in the picture here, so we have instructor or teacher who can be in presence or who can be in the remote area, and also in-person students and remote students. All of them are trying to learn something, some concept, which is somewhat complex if we utilize the traditional mechanism of learning in the classroom. But however, now we are trying to utilize a certain type of mechanism, such as holographic display, so that students can feel more about what it is. For example, some organ or some object they are trying to learn about. So through the use of such mechanism, the scenario is going on. So that we can provide such type of applications, the thing we want to come up with is what is the implication for the upcoming generation transport layer and the application layer and in between. So those type of implications is something that we are trying to look into. So not only the expected requirements, but also we want to try to promote the research sector, so which is not going to be part of the standardization. All that does, we believe, is we in the past NJ thought that we for certain verticals, so we are not really successful about that because of limited strategy. So in that context, as I previously mentioned, NJ tried to help getting together the private sector and the research sector and also government all together so that we can try to minimize gap or unexpected issues in the path of the commercialization. So if I can briefly move on to the next one, gaming and entertainment may have a little bit different context, but in the same line. Now this one is about data collection category. So in the previous generations, we used to have a huge interest about the data collection through the means of sensing and many sensor network or something like that. But now we are trying to have more focus on the human side, which is very important. right? So this one is not a new concept. Maybe I think more than 2 decades ago, we used to work on this one. But now we have tried to incorporate a different angle to analyze why such a useful feature was not able to be commercialized in time. So in that aspect, we are trying to analyze some study area that can provide more paved way for its commercialization, as well as some implication, which is we call it uh, expected requirements or recommendations sometimes. With that, in the interest of time, let me move on. So this one is also about a data collection. So smart city, we have a huge amount of useful data and for different purposes. For example, disaster relay and environmental control. If a lot of population get together in a densely populated area, there are many interesting things we have to figure out. So those are something we call drivers for identifying valuable 6G use cases. And now the third category is about network of robots, or you can say collaborative robot or cobots. USA is one of the biggest country, food export country. So we are very much interested in the agriculture and also mining, as I previously mentioned. The thing about robotics applications is that these job sites, agriculture, farming area, mining site, they are all unstructured setting, right? It's quite different from a structured setting that we could observe in a factory or manufacturing site. Interesting things will happen about AI ML applications. So there are multiple agents, multiple parties that are going to play key roles together. So those are a very interesting area we are working on, and we believe we can come up with meaningful requirements and recommendation. This one was about the third categories. So the safety of human in the form of worker or in the form of actor, whatever, is quite important. So we are thinking about human in the form of this means. And the last category is personalized user experience. So we have several applications area. So shopping, also learning and travel assistance, as you can see in the next slide. So those areas are one of the key areas that we can try to apply AI native wireless systems and also distributed computing and communication systems as two of the main audacious goals from NJ. Let me briefly then conclude by introducing 4 white papers that AWG Application Working Group has produced. Please visit uh, the NJ site for more details. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you.